This week we're on a different side of the mountain, but we still have about the same type of view. We have the Pacific coast of Costa Rica right there behind me. And this week I wanted to talk about cash flow. Guys, cash flow is extremely important. It's something that you guys need to focus on maximizing literally on a day-to-day, week-by-week basis, right? So what is cash flow? You need money coming in, different income streams, right? You can't just have your primary income source and have that be your only way of making money. No, you need to have different streams of income, whether that be from different investments, different businesses. Passive income is really the main thing that you need to focus on, though, right? You have what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, and I get that, right? That's your active income. On your free time, you are either investing that towards what is already producing you a passive income, or you are investing into yourself, right? Building the skills, building the knowledge, the skill set, right? The ideas on how to create that passive income in your life. Again, a lot of you people are into crypto. A lot of people are invested into different ways of, staking and masternodes, different coins that are providing you that passive income. Now, that's cool and all, but you need to have your feet wet in different, ventures, right? You don't want to have just crypto income. You want to have real estate. You want to have, some stock market stuff. I mean, I don't really get much into the stock market. Whatever I can have in the stock market, I'd rather have in crypto from where I'm at personally in my life right now. But you guys that are at different levels in your life, you guys can, invest into the stock market and other ventures like, ETFs and stuff like that. I like to stick more towards gold, precious metals, real estate, the good old-fashioned, the ones that have always provided that generational wealth. But you see, here's the mistake. A lot of you guys already have that second stream of income, but instead of maximizing it, you're already starting to branch off into other ventures and ideas, okay? The real money is made when you pick something and you go at it 100%, full speed. And you do that for an extended period of time, years and years on end. So sure, maybe if you're lucky, you can tell which ventures are for you and which aren't. So you can drop the ones that you definitely know aren't for you early on. That's what happened with me. My experience, I had a couple of different business ventures that just didn't really resonate with me, and I had to drop them. Luckily, I was able to drop them real quickly, and I wasn't and ended up investing that much time into them before I actually found what it is that I really wanted to focus on, what it is that I really wanted to expand on. So you guys can apply the exact same thing. You need to find something that you want to expand on, something that you need to nourish, see it like a child. You work on it every single day. You better it every single day, whether that be a skill set, whether that be your business, whether that be just investing in crypto, and like you got your little portfolio, cool. Like, feel really good, feel really glad, feel really grateful that you have that money invested into crypto. Nourish it, right? Don't, try and find a way where you can feed it. You can feed more energy into it. You can feed more actual fiat money into it, right? So instead of going out on the weekends and spending money where you shouldn't be, you should be focusing on investing all your money you can into things that are going to produce you more income, right? When you embark on that certain, path, and you keep nourishing that path and watering your seed, right? Seed's not going to grow from one day to another. It takes years. Before you know, you're going to be into the point where you're making that passive income, where you're really not stressed out about money. You're in that financial freedom. Ultimately, you guys can do whatever you want. These are just my opinions, my way of, viewing the world and doing my things, doing what I do, right? You guys can work your jobs. You guys can have that, normal 401k or whatever, and get to the point where you retire at 60. I personally want to be looking to retire past 40. Well, when I say retire, I mean be in a point where I can. Well, honestly, I'm already at that point. Not gonna lie. Just being at the point where you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, wherever you want. Right? The 3 W's, how I like to say. That for me, that's retirement in my eyes. That's where you did your grinding years, you did all that sacrifice, all that work, and now you're at the point where you can really live freely. Okay, that's where I want to get to as soon as possible, not after 30s and 40s. Nah, soon, real soon. A very common trap that a lot of people fall into is that they start making more money, right? They started, the business finally started being profitable, the investment started paying off, or some crypto investments started to take off, right? You feel like you got more money, this is easier, right? You fall into what's known as lifestyle inflation. Is that when you start making more money, you start spending more money, right? Your expenditures also increase. And that is something that is extremely, extremely common. A lot of people fall into that. I've fallen into that myself, but it is important that you catch yourself. Why? Because you will stay where you're at. You will never get to the point where you're actually advancing in the wealth creation path, because you're constantly spending as much as you're making. It's like a real common thing. I'm guaranteeing you falling into this trap at some point in your life, but you need to catch that. When you realize that you're spending more money on weekends and you're buying more things that you don't normally buy, or you didn't even need to buy certain things, but you bought it just because you had the money. Like, when you catch yourself making those mistakes, you're able to save yourself so much time and so much headache, because you'll realize like a year or two have gone by and you haven't really breached that next level. Like, you've been staying like kind of in like a certain range and you haven't broken to that next level, right? Added another zero to the net worth. You see, it's most likely because of that lifestyle inflation. If you try and stay as humble as possible and try and invest as much money early on as possible and really like dedicate like years to it. It's not a year or two or 3 or 4 or 5. It's like 10 years. Some people can get it done in 6, 7, 8, right? Other people take 13, 14, 15, 20. But it's around 10 years of like dedicated sacrifice. You do those 10 years. If you're really tough with it, if you're really stuck with it, if you're really dedicated, you can get it done in 5 years, right? It's completely up to you. But the earlier you do it, the better. And then once you're in that position, life is good. You know what I mean? All right, guys. So these are just my opinions. These are just my thoughts. What I'm going through with my life, my ideas, right? That I'm putting onto you guys. Please drop a like on the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel with your post notifications turned on. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.